The truck's an '84 model. It served the community since it was brand new. It was purchased through NAFCO out of Decatur. Ronald Woodall was the salesman, and I think he's still current over there. And I talked to him the other day, and he said this truck back then was about $90,000 back then. You go buy it now, it's probably $300,000 or $400,000. So, but like I said, the town purchased in '84, and it's served this town for 37 years, and it's been a workhorse.
You know, how many, I'm sure there's no way to count, but how many calls do you think this thing's been on?
Man, it's been to a lot of fires, man. It's hard to count. I mean, I can't answer that, but it's been to a bunch over the years, yes.
Thousands?
Probably close, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, what makes this truck different from the one behind it?
Well, you know, this truck's an older truck, and it's more of a mechanical, you know, truck. It's all open throttle and all that stuff. Where your new stuff's just push button stuff now, you know. And these trucks here are probably be standing with the newer ones are down, you know. So I mean, it's amazing what to do. It's got a current pump test. It passes pump tests every year. It's just keep it serviced. We take pride in this old truck, you know. So
what's pump test?
It's got to have a pump test. You know, it's got a 1,000-gallon-minute pump on it, and you know, if your pump ain't right, I guess you got problems. But you know, if it don't pass pump test, I consider it a fail. And you know, ISO stuff, they look at that stuff. You know, you don't want a truck failing a pump test and having your men inside fighting fire. You know what I'm saying? So you got to have a current pump test every year.
And you said how many miles are on it?
About 50,000 miles on it.
About 50,000. And
yep.
84 is what's it? 94, 04, 14.
It's 37 years.
37 years old.
Yep, 37 years old. Yep.
How many miles does that one have on it? Do you know?
The one behind it?
Yeah.
Probably. It's probably got about 50 or 60, but that's just a rescue truck. It runs more. You know what I'm saying? So it's run a lot more. Yeah.
I didn't know if that was.
Yep.
So if you get a call, there's no hesitations taking this bad boy out.
This truck here, it goes on most of our mutual aid calls, and it's our second engine in to all of our structure fires. If it goes out of the city, it goes out of the city. The newer truck stays in the town, you know. So, but yeah, there's no hesitation. It fires up, no matter if it's 100 degrees outside or 20 degrees. It fires up and ready to go.
It's a workhorse.
Yep, it is.
Good old-fashioned American.
Good old-fashioned American, man. It's like I said, it's got a. You know, of course, it's a diesel. You know, some of them back this site was a gas burner, but it's a diesel motor, and it's not gonna let us down yet, and I hope it don't. You know, so. All right. Back in my father was fire chief in 1984, and he's the one that got the truck purchased for us. He stayed fire chief for 25 years, so kind of keeping it in, I guess, in the tradition, the family tradition. So I got pictures of it when I was small in it. Now I'm over it now, so you know.
And, what is, the town of Hollywood, the fire department here mean to you, your father, your family as a whole?
Well, like I said, the town of Hollywood, I mean, I knew I was 4 or 5 years old. Of course, my dad was chief. I watched him, I said, I'm going to do that one day, and I'm here. You know, I love it. My community, that's my priority here, is keep my community safe. You know, if anything goes on, the fire department's always involved, and we try to help anybody we can, if possible, so it means a lot to us. Like I said, my dad was fire chief for 25 years, close to it, I think, and I took over in 2012. There was a couple more chiefs before that, but yeah, it's home to me. I've grown up here, 34 years of it. It's just ain't nowhere else but home but Hollywood to me. Yeah.
Is there one specific incident, one specific fire you think of this truck or over your career?
Well, this truck here, I wasn't old enough to be on the fire department yet, but they had a pretty good large fire it was a truck shop, and this thing here pumped for hours and hours, and it's had a couple of them, but I can't think of all of them, but it's been a lot. I mean, 8 and 10 hours a time just pumping, slinging water. So yeah.
18 hours?
8 to 10 hours at a time, yeah. Mm-hmm. And it's a little store, like a little deli and store. Yep. But it's done a lot. I mean, that's what the mileage on this truck. It's mainly from pumping. Road miles ain't much. If you pumping it, the odometers eventually it's moving. So right.
Yeah. So are there features on this truck that are, you wouldn't be able to get if you went out and bought a truck today?
Yes. There's no more open cabs. This is an open cab truck. you can't really ride back NFPA stuff. You know, they don't sell the open cabs like this
open
really.
cab,
Yeah,
literally
yeah,
open
open
cab.
cab. You can sit. Yeah, you can sit in the back. Yeah, but you don't do that anymore. Everything's all enclosed cab just about. You know, so. There's a lot of different things, little odds and ends, different things that you can't get like you used to get on these trucks. But a lot of it's better now, though. You know, more technology and the stuff. But as I said earlier, I mean, this is all mechanical. It's no electronic really stuff on it. You know, so that's what I like about it.
Original paint.
Original paint. Original paint. It's it ain't been, like I said, that's your 1984 paint job when it come from the factory. So it still looks good. You know.
Yeah,
But,
looks great.
yeah.
Hardly any for 34 years old. And
Yeah.
hardly have anything.
Yeah, it looks good. So, but yeah.
Yeah.
It's our pride and joy here, man. I mean, of course, we're gonna have to get rid of it one day, but I hope not in the near future, you know. So.
Hopefully, sounds morbid. Hopefully, Dad's not around to
Yeah, I know it. That's it.
Let's hope Dad doesn't
That's it. That's it.
experience that. Yeah. So go back to him. You know, his career in the fire department, growing up as a kid, seeing him. Is he what inspired you to be?
It is. It is. I mean, I watched him. You know, when I was small, I went to calls with him. You know, of course, I'd set the vehicle, but I watched it. You know, it just fell in. It's in the blood. It's in the bloodline. You know, he's taught me a lot, and he's more of an old school firefighter. You can't do some of the stuff back like you did back in now. You know, but he's taught me about everything I know about the fire service. Yeah. So I mean, I knew when I was getting to the age in high school, I'm like, you know, I became a junior firefighter when I was 16. And of course, 18-year-old, I got as a legit fireman, you know, and it's just stuck with me ever since, man. It's stuck with me ever since.